Welcome, everybody. It is episode number 388 of this here show, the OMG Hour. And I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
Hi, Sean Evans, known as Zion
Tane.
No, you're in my time now. This is my
time
to introduce myself in an interesting way, and I am Tico, Mr. Second Place.
That's Tico.
That's me. That's me. Sean, how are you?
Tico.
Oh, it's this.
It should be like the Vanna White thing.
Yes, because I am like a puzzle.
You're like a prize. You're not the one everyone wants, though.
No, it's like, congratulations, here's your participation trophy. That's what I am.
Before we get any further, everybody give us a subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the little bell notification, and you will get all the notifications of when we post new stuff, which we are doing all the time. Tico?
Yes?
Did you play any games this week?
I did, Sean. I know.
What? I don't see, there's nothing in the show notes, so I don't believe you.
I'm no, because there's not stuff that I could put, stuff into. I'm just going to talk about it, because I knew you'd ask that question, because I got a new toy this week, Sean.
Oh, you got a new toy. Do you have the toy that you can show?
I do, look.
You're hitting. Oh, so those look like VR controllers.
Yes, so I got one of these things. I have an Oculus.
That's
Quest.
the Oculus, the original one, not the new one.
Not the new one.
The new one's not out yet. I was going to say, how the heck did you get the new one? No, you got the old one.
The new one's all white, I believe, as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I got a Quest to play with, and
so you're finally into VR.
I am, and you know what? I like it. It's fun.
You don't have to sell me on VR.
Let me tell you what VR can do for you, Sean.
Well,
no, it's such a unique experience. Like, I've tried VR at your place before, and stuff like that, but this is the first time where I didn't have to worry so much about breaking it. Because now,
did you honestly think you were going to break my VR?
No, but yours was also brand new. It had the big thick cables and everything like that. The Quest is completely wireless.
Yeah, it's
great. Which is so cool. My wife and daughter made fun of me because I was playing super hot VR, and I hooked it up and I went into the room. I'm like, my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, I'm playing a game, and so she had never tried it. So I'm like, "You've got to try this on." So I just not even fully set up. I just put her into the Netflix room, and I'm look around, and she's like it's a big cabin, and she's super excited about being in this cabin. She's like, I want to live here. I'm like,
what do you mean by Netflix? Is it like a place you can sit and watch Netflix? Is that what you mean?
So yeah, if you go into Netflix in the VR, it's basically puts a big 90-inch TV in front of you, and then there's a couch, and you're in a chalet.
Oh my gosh.
Big A-frame, so you look out, you can see it snowing out in the corner. You can look up to the...
That's awesome.
And when you start your movie, the lights in the... because it's a lit-up room, the lights in the room dim.
Oh, wow.
As you start your movie or you're watching on Netflix. It is a really cool thing. But I've tried a few games in it, too, which I really enjoyed. I sat down and played some poker this morning. In a poker VR thing. And I'm just playing, and it's just a weird sensation that you feel that you are in a much bigger place than you actually are.
Oh yeah, you are. Now, I got to ask you a question, because I've done this. When you're playing poker, when you're sitting at the table, did you accidentally actually want to put your hand down on the table?
I've done, yeah.
And then realize there's no actual table there?
I
have done that before when I was playing, I think it was called Tumble VR. Yeah. And it's basically a block stacking game. Right? It's just really well done. Very simple, but it's so cool in VR. And there's a table in front of you. And I went to actually lean on the table. I'm like, oh, crap, there's no actual table. I actually went to put the controller down on the table while I thought about something. There's no table there.
The one that got me is...
That's how immersive VR can be.
Yeah, the one that got me. So like I first hooked this up. I'm like, I've got to play with this. So I got it home last night. I'm like, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Okay, I'm gonna hook this up and get it charged, get it set up. And I'm like, okay, let's try this. This like it comes with a bunch of demos. So I tried
Ah.
Super Hot VR, which was awesome. I tried Beat Saber.
So how does Super Hot work in VR? Like, do you have to physically stop moving in order to pause
You
everything?
physically, yeah, like to make things move, you physically have to like
So you
move
then
around in
you
your
then have to
space.
move, and then the bullets continue. But as soon as you stop, it stops. Now, how I'm wondering how sensitive that is, because if you make a slight movement, is it going to go, or does it have to be a
It
big movement?
No, slight movements work. Like I'm moving my hand a little bit, and the bullets are starting coming. So you're ducking, and it's such a cool thing because they're coming in from behind you and everything
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And like I killed the one guy, and he dropped his gun, and I had a gun, and I reached up with the other hand and grabbed it, and like
Yeah.
basically
Right.
went
Yeah. It's so
guns
cool.
akimbo and was like firing away at all these guys. So much fun.
I bet.
Beat Saber, another one, super fun. Like I actually played that in my office. Like I'm just gonna test this because it's just a demo, and I accidentally smacked my laptop.
Oh no.
As I'm
Yeah.
like,
Because
sitting
you.
here on the chair, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh crap! Like yeah, I have to be
Well,
aware of
that's
where I
Yeah,
am.
yeah. You definitely need spatial awareness. But what's cool? Did you find it cool how you have to paint your play area?
I love that, to be honest with you, and I love that the pass through mode with it too. I'm not sure if the one you have has a pass through mode, but it
Well,
actually
a
like
friend of mine has that same
yeah,
Oculus Quest, and I played it at his place. I played Vader Immortal, which
yeah.
was incredible, and I'm looking forward to playing. He's actually ordered the Quest 2. I'm gonna ask him if he might want to sell me his original Quest at like on the cheap, you know.
Yeah.
But it's so cool playing at his place. He just pushed his couch out a little bit. He's got a fairly good sized living
Yeah.
room, and he just paint the ground sort of on the inside of the couches,
Where your stuff is, so it will tell you
and it
don't
will.
walk into this
Yeah,
stuff.
and when you approach the wall, it actually puts a grid up in front of you, so you know you're reaching the extent of your play area.
Yeah.
It is really cool, and it's very immersive. And the controllers are great because it's got movement controllers, like what I've been complaining about for years on PlayStation.
Yeah. It feels super comfortable. I tried the roller coaster thing. That was like the first thing I tried was like one of the roller
Oh,
coaster
yeah.
experiences. It's basically one of the Canada Wonderland roller coasters.
Did it feel
And
like you were on it? Because I've never felt
oh,
like roller coasters
dude,
made me feel
I
like I was on it.
5 seconds in, I had to like pause it and like because I did this standing up too. Like I was standing up just testing, and I did it. And I'm like, and as soon as it started going, I'm like, I started to feel like I was swaying. I'm like, nope.
Really? Yeah,
Like I need to do this from sitting down because I'm gonna fall over.
I've tried the roller coaster type stuff as well, and I've never had that. You know how when you go to like an IMAX film and it
Yeah.
makes you, because it's all surround, it makes you feel like you're on whatever. I didn't find that with the roller coaster VR stuff. That I didn't feel like I was on the roller coaster.
Now it could have been because I was standing. Like it's sitting, you
Maybe.
may have a different experience because I was standing, and I didn't. I did it for 5 seconds because I started to feel like a little wobbly after 5 seconds. I'm like, I don't
Right.
want it to. I don't want to fall down.
Yeah, yeah,
And that
yeah.
would be embarrassing if I have to like get called to the hospital with a VR accident.
Excuse me, sir. How did this happen? Well, I was in VR.
I don't want to say. How's that? I don't want to say. Really, really cool. Really, just even the environments, like the base environment where you're like in this and you're looking out the window and you can see all the other houses around you. It's like just a
Well,
really, really neat concept.
if I'm not mistaken, I know Oculus has it because I watch Dan Amrich a couple of times a week when he does sort of like a morning stream,
Yeah,
where he does his workout essentially in VR, with things like Beat Saber and like the games that essentially are made for exercise. He does.
yeah, for moving. Yeah,
Yeah, and I tune into his Twitch, a couple times a week and just cheer him on, that sort of thing. But at the end, sometimes he'll go into what is called his personal space, and it will award him with items to decorate the space with. Now, does Quest have that, or is that
I
just the mainline Oculus?
I don't know, but it probably does. Like I
Okay.
mean, I've got this thing, and I haven't even tried messing around with that yet.
It's kind of like achievements, like I guess when you
Yeah,
play for so long, or I don't know how it works, but you get these chests that or presents that you can break open, and it pops up an item, and the items have different themes, right? Like could be
yeah.
gothic, it could be miniature, like you make a room that looks like like you're a giant, basically, right? Like so it would be no, sorry, it makes it look like you're mini. Like you're really small in this huge room. And so you can place those around your room wherever you want. So I'm curious if Quest has that as well.
I will play a bit more later. Like I've literally played twice, well, 3 times if you count this morning, since I've got it. But I have not had like a ton of time to really go in depth for it yet. But I will do that a little later on today because,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I actually I've been playing a lot of the Harry Potter phone game, the puzzles and spells. I'm at like a level 100. I joined a club on it, which just, it doesn't really add a whole lot to you. It just, you join a club, you got friends there, so we joined a club, right?
You've got friends there now?
Come on, Sean. Dan Amrick.
Nobody believes that.
Dan and Kat, so I joined their club. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating sometimes because a lot of these match 3 games, in order to complete the puzzle, or basically you have to get, it says at the top what you need to achieve to complete the puzzle, and you have X number of turns in order to do it. Like you may have to clear 50 purple tiles and 35 ice tiles, but you only have like 10 moves to do so.
Okay,
right?
So this is a sad thing. I know exactly what that is because that's how the Frozen Match 3 game works.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad that I know that, but I do.
Yeah, again, it's still so perfectly geared towards the Harry Potter theme.
No, theme wise, like to be honest with you, even the Frozen one's not a terrible game. It's,
But I get frustrated because, and of course, because it's a mobile game, they want you to spend microtransactions on it by buying more lives. So you only get like 5 lives a day, or 5 lives, and then you have to wait like an hour for a new one, right? So I could spend all 5 on one puzzle and still not finish it because a lot of these puzzles depends on random drops of the gems. If you get a crappy drop of gems all the time with not much to match, there's not enough to match to get the special items like the bombs or the streaks that go across and clear a whole line or a whole row, right? If you can't match the things properly to get these things, you could spend 25 moves and go nowhere near the results you need. And then the very next puzzle, all of a sudden it's like, boom, everything just works out.
One move and it's done.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But there's so many times that I'm playing it and I'm down to the last move. I made the last move. It happened today. I had one gem left to clear and I ran out of moves.
That must be frustrating.
That was unbelievably frustrating because it was a big puzzle. It was something like 78 reds, 65 blues, 52 purples, and 78 ice squares. And I'm like, I got it down to 1 ice square left. And I still lost and had to do the whole thing again.
So let me explain how these things work to you, Sean.
Okay, please. Educate.
They're designed the same way that slot machines are designed, right? They want to give you a certain amount of success so you're hooked on the game,
right?
And they get you so close that you run out of turns and you just want to finish that, so you will buy the extra turn.
Will not buy extra turn. I haven't spent a penny. I know people will, but I turn it off. I come back to it a few hours later and I just do it again.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you should do. But some people can't help themselves, and they use that formula is designed. It's designed so you will fail with 1 left, so you feel like you're just
and you want to spend. Reach. You're like, I only have 1 left, and if I spend that 900 coins, which you can get in game, or you can buy them and get more coins, you spend the 900 coins to get 5 more turns. Well, what does that do for you? Well, now I can clear it, but you just spent 900 coins, and if you run out of coins. Well, maybe I'll just buy some coins for $5. Well, now they just got $5 out of you.
Yeah, then the ad pops up. It's regularly $10. We'll give it to you for $4.99.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh, that's such a good deal, and I can finish this level, and then you're so happy. But that's how they get you, Sean.
Oh, I know.
Sean, that's how they get you.
That's how just me.
Just you.
This is targeted just to me.
A whiteboard with your picture on it at their office, and they're like. It's just like a whole bunch of thought processes around how to get you.
Wow. Well, they're failing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they listen. these guys, once they solve it, then they're out of a job. So why are they going to work harder? They
Right.
work smarter, not harder here.
Exactly. Let's talk a bit about some news. We've got some PlayStation news this week. First of all, there was a really cool video. I don't know if you've seen it, Tico, where one of the architecture guys at Sony, like the head of architecture, I think. I don't remember his title. Head of hardware or something. Anyway, he took apart the PS5. He took the whole thing apart, showed how completely what's inside, how it's built, massive, huge heat sink. They showed how it's like liquid metal going through it, which helps with the cooling and taking the heat into the heat sink. And they showed where the drive is and like everything. They just took the whole thing apart. It was really, really cool. But then there's more clarification about PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation 5. And basically it's like there's like 10 games out there that will not work on PS5 that are PS4 games. And I looked at the list and it's really nothing substantial. Like it's basically any game I own right now and any game I have on my shelf here will work on PS5. I put the disc in, it will play. If I own it, as soon as I sign in to my PS5, it will show in my library ready to play. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's literally that simple. If you have PlayStation Plus subscription, so your saved games are actually in the cloud, you can just bring all your saved games right out of the cloud back onto your PS5 and continue where you left off on your PS4 in those games. Right. So basically the day I get my PS5, I hook it all up. I connect with my account. I download everything. I could literally pick up in a game that I had played yesterday on PS4, pick it right up on PS5, right where I left off. Right. So that's going to work.
I like that.
Yeah, it's going to work really, really well. I imagine Xbox will be the same that way.
It should. I mean, it was from the One X and the Xbox One, and everything that it worked exactly the same way.
But even because saves are in the cloud, right? In Xbox,
saves are in the cloud.
Yeah. So I was pretty sure that worked the same way. The other thing that was clarified is that PSVR will also work out of the box with PS5. Well, let me caveat that I don't know if it's actually out of the box because there's one little piece that has not been clarified. So first of all, PSVR will work, but you have to use the hardware you got with your PS4. So you need the PS4 camera. It apparently will not work with the new PS5 camera.
Oh,
which is really interesting to me that it won't. It kind of leads me to believe there's a new PS5 VR coming that's going to be different. Like maybe the camera's on the visor, much like the Quest has. But what's interesting is you need an adapter, a camera adapter. So the camera connection is going to be different on PS5. So you need a camera adapter to plug in the PS4 adapter to the PS5 or PS4 camera to the PS5. But that adapter will not cost anything more. It's free of charge. But there's...
You have to order it?
Well, that's not clear. They haven't said if it's in the box or if it's something you have to request.
Yeah, Microsoft did that with the Kinect when they had that whole...
You had to request it, right?
The specific power kit you had to order. They would send you one for free, but you had to order it.
Yeah, so I don't... they haven't said whether that's the case, whether you're going to have to order one, request one, and have it shipped to you, or if it's just going to be in the box. I would love to see it just in the box, right? With the millions of PSVR players out there, wouldn't it just make sense to just put it in the box? If it's just a small adapter? I don't know. Well, I guess the cost of the adapter, right?
There's a cost of the adapter, right? So like if somebody doesn't have PSVR, why would you pay to give them a piece that they may not need? Like if you're talking about 20% of the people who are going to use it, then it's probably cheaper to go that route.
True, but at the same time, for example, this week, I bought the new... I've had a Harmony One remote for my entertainment system for well over 10 years. It's been a great remote. Never regretted buying it. I love it. I upgraded this week. It was on sale. It was sort of like, I cannot pass up this sale. I'm going to order it because my other one's been dying. It's been like a really slow death, but it's kind of getting to that point where I just want a new one.
and there's so many new features in it. So I ordered the Harmony Elite remote control, which is like the top of the line remote. Yeah. And it comes with an IR blaster that you put basically in your entertainment center. It just throws IR all over the room, so you can control many more things than the original one did. It also has Bluetooth built in, so this controller, Tico, will now actually turn on the PS4 and turn the PS4 off. It's like, it was mind-blowing that it was actually do this, because there's no IR remote for the PS4. It's essentially a Bluetooth signal. But it comes with that IR blaster, but it also comes with little mini IR receivers that you can plug in. You can place them elsewhere in your entertainment system, and they can plug into the back if you need them. I don't need them, so I don't use them, but they're still in the package. So it's kind of that same idea, where here's some hardware for your device that you don't have to use if you don't need it.
It's a different story, though, because, you may have needed, or you might have need of it in the future, right? So rather than you chasing them down to try to find something that they're putting in the box, whereas for the PSVR, maybe it makes more sense to put it in the PSVR box moving forward.
Yeah, maybe, and then just have those who need it just order it.
Yeah,
that could be.
Like I say, like if I say, hey, listen, I'm going to give everybody in the world $5. But you have to fill out this form. I'm not just sending $5 out to everybody. I'm waiting until I get the form back.
Right, because not everybody's going to do it.
Not everybody's going to do it. So I'd rather save the money and again, it's a couple of points. Yeah. In profit. But I mean, it's still profit for them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I again, they have not clarified which way it is. So hopefully, once they clarify it, I'm wondering, and I'm kind of hoping they allow you to order it ahead of time.
Yeah.
So that you've got it when you buy the system, right?
And they may require proof that you own a PSVR in order to send it too. You have to send us your whatever UPC off of it or serial number.
Who's still got that stuff though?
A serial number.
Oh well, that's no. There is no serial number on the PSVR headset.
I imagine. Where do the batteries go?
There's no batteries.
There's got to be a sticker on there somewhere that has that. Or in the boot, you could probably press a button. And
believe me, there is no there. I've looked. There is no serial number on the VR hardware. I agree it should be, but strangely enough, there isn't.
What about in the controllers, where the batteries go in the controllers?
They're sold separately.
What about? I don't know. I got nothing.
No, I know. Believe me, No, because I had to return PSVR. The reason I know this, I returned a PSVR to Walmart, and they had to make sure that the hardware matched the serial number on the box.
Right.
But there's no serial number on the hardware. They couldn't find it.
Well, so that's brilliant. If you ever do break one of them yourself and just bring it back, it's like, you go buy a new one. It's like, I'm returning this. Well, how do I know this is the one? I guess you don't. That's your problem, not mine.
Exactly, because the serial number's on. It was written on the box, not on the hardware. Interesting. And I don't have the box for my PSVR anymore.
What? You don't keep all of your boxes all time forever?
Not the huge ones, not the big huge ones. I want to talk a little bit because I brought it up, just because it's so cool. The Harmony Elite remote, and then we're going to continue on with Xbox stuff.
No, I think we're going to just go straight to the Xbox stuff.
So the Harmony Elite remote, I'm ignoring you, Tico, as you can tell.
I'm aware. Most people do. It's fine.
It's just so cool because it controls so many more things now, but at the same time, it also now connects, because it's an app on your phone. You actually set up the remote with an app on your phone.
Yeah.
And the Harmony Hub, which is the IR blaster, it connects to your home Wi-Fi, and then Google Home can also connect to that hub. So anything I set up on the remote, I can just tell Google to do it. And it will do all those commands. Turn on the TV, turn on the stereo, set the stereo to the right channel, TV to the channel, and turn off my lights, Tico. It connects to the Hue. It sees I have Hue lights.
Yeah.
And I can add turning off the lights
as an activity when I turn on the TV. And then when I turn off the TV, it can turn the lights back on for you. And like, it's kind of mind-blowing that it works this way, but it is so cool. And now I can tell Google, I mean, not that I can't just pick up the remote and press pause, but you can tell Google to pause the movie you're watching, or pause the TV.
You can do that with stuff too. I've seen it done. I've seen it done before. With Google Home, if you have a Android based TV, you can use that.
Yes.
Chromecast and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. It's just, I can't believe what this remote does, though. The push of one button turns everything on and turns off the lights. And not only that, but because I only do it for this room, but you could do it for your whole house. You could put plugs in there. You could do your garage door opener. You could do your thermostat. Like, everything could be in this remote now. This remote has essentially become its own smartphone app. You know what I mean?
So when it dies, you're going to be like, I can't do anything.
I don't know how to do it.
House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, you can also use your phone because you can just turn on the app. Not that I want to turn on my phone to do it all, but you can turn on your phone and control the devices that way as well.
Yeah.
Because it's all done through a phone app that connects to the hub. I don't think you can control the devices on the phone app. You can just start the activities. Then you need the remote to do all the buttons and the selecting and whatever. Honestly, I'm thrilled with the upgrade to my remote because I love it. It's seriously, it's one of those things I'm going to have with me for the next 10 years or more. So I'm happy to pay for something like this and I'm thrilled with all the stuff it can do that I couldn't do before.
So let me ask you, Sean, are you happy with your remote?
Slightly.
Okay, good.
Well, it's cool because at lunchtime, I'm sitting here at my desk, or I'm coming down the stairs with my lunch. I can tell Google, I'm not going to say it. I can say OG, which is, turn on the TV. And as I'm walking into the room, sitting down, getting ready, the TV's turning on, everything's turning on, and the lights are turning off. And then I sit down, pick up the remote, and do it. It's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just so cool. It's like that futuristic automated home thing that you saw in the movies years and years ago. They're like, I need that in my life. Well, now it's in my life.
I know we're getting to that crazy stage where all of basically everything from the Jetsons is real now.
Exactly. I mean,
where is my robot maid?
I know there's Google controlled window shades and everything nowadays. Like you can tell Google to open the windows and whatever. It's just I'm so fascinated, and I absolutely love Google Home for automating stuff like that. I just love it. Anyway, back to Xbox stuff.
All right.
So very strange thing came up today. Well, it's not strange, but so the horror game, The Medium, which we've seen commercials for and advertisements for, which both of us were interested in. This is one with the woman who can see these two different worlds and switch between them.
It's a medium.
Looks absolutely fantastic. So it gets a release date and a new trailer. But the thing for this article that I noticed, Bloober Team, which is the creators of this game, they have stated, Tico, that the Medium will only be available, work on Xbox One X. It will only work on the X. Series X. On
the Series X,
Series
not the
X.
One X. So on the
confusing.
The new, it will only work on the new. So they've decided to go next gen only.
Yes.
With this.
And on a November title right away. But here's the weird thing. For the last couple of years, Microsoft has been talking about the Xbox ecosystem, where these new systems essentially are just upgraded hardware, but everything you've had before will work on it, right? It's like, and anything you buy will still work on the One X. It's the same as using a PC. You can buy a game, and if you don't have the latest and greatest hardware, you just don't get the latest and greatest visuals and effects in a game.
Well,
but
we are
right off the bat, we're getting a game that will not work if you only have a One X. This breaks their message, Tico.
Well, it sort of breaks their message.
No, it breaks their message completely.
Well, is Bloober Team a Microsoft-owned studio?
No.
Well, then it doesn't break Microsoft's because this is a third party.
But it does break Microsoft's message about their ecosystem. If they're not enforcing it, then it breaks their message.
I disagree. This is a third-party thing. If they want to come out and say we're only going to code this for the Series X, that doesn't really break Microsoft's thing. It's a third party. If Microsoft was making, Gears of War 27, and they said, yeah, it's only going to be on this next gen.
Except Microsoft is allowing it on the system, which breaks their own message, is what I'm saying. They have to approve it. They have to approve games on their system.
Yeah.
And if they're approving this,
they can't force a developer to no, you have to make it available for both. They can't force a developer to do that.
They can, absolutely they can.
No, they can't.
That's if they want to develop for their system, they have to follow the rules. Look what Apple does.
Well, listen, that's not the path anybody wants to go down, is the Apple path.
It's the same idea, though. If you don't follow Xbox's set guidelines for developing on their system, they will not approve the game, which means that this rule that they've been talking about isn't actually a rule. That Microsoft themselves are not following the path that they've been talking about.
I think that they're just looking at this in a situation where they're saying these guys aren't going to make it for the last gen, and they don't have to. And I don't see why.
Then why is Microsoft saying that games you buy will run on all systems?
I don't recall them actually.
They have been saying that for years.
They've
their new approach.
If you buy a game on the Xbox One, it will work on the Series X. But I don't think they're guaranteeing that if somebody develops something for the Series X that you're going to be able to play it on.
Microsoft has been talking about this being an Xbox ecosystem.
Yeah.
Much like the PC ecosystem. You don't have to buy a new PC just to play the latest game. A game is not made for a specific PC.
You pretty much do have to buy a new PC for the latest game because
there are minimum requirements and there are recommended requirements.
And there is
so now Bloober Team is saying the minimum requirements for this game is the latest system,
which is fine. I really don't see a problem with that.
It still breaks a message, Tico, and that's what I'm trying to say.
I think
you just want to argue.
Misrepresenting or misunderstanding the message, because it's the same thing. Like if I had an iOS device and this is something that's happened to me, and I go to play a game and it's no longer supported on the current, and it just won't work. Like if I have a game that I bought on the iOS for an iPhone 5 and I'm trying to play it on 11, it's like, yeah, this is not supported anymore and it won't work.
Okay.
That's the same thing. Like why should a third-party developer have to develop two games?
Well, they don't have to develop two games.
Well, clearly they do. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just port it over?
No. A game that runs on Xbox One X, and then you can play it on Xbox Series X, you just download new assets for it. It's not a new game. You're adding more components to the game to make it the better version. It's not a new game. It's not a separate game.
It's still more work that you have to do to build those lower res assets.
It's not lower res, Tico. Resolution isn't changing.
Or whatever that you want to call it. I just don't think that they should have to be forced into that.
It's engine.
I disagree with your argument that Microsoft has broken their promise to anything.
No, I believe they have.
I believe you're
They're
wrong.
changing their message.
You're changing their message.
Yeah.
Listen. I don't see this as being an issue. This is a third-party developer who's.
It's funny because you thought it was an issue this afternoon when we were discussing it.
When did we discuss it this afternoon?
Oh my gosh, you don't even remember 2 hours ago?
I kind of don't.
Well, we talked about it.
Listen, no, I think it's I think
and you said, yeah, that's bad messaging already.
I meant from Bloober coming out and not wanting to publish on both things, not in regards to Microsoft's messaging. I don't care about Microsoft's messaging. It's bad from Bloober for not putting it out on both.
It doesn't make sense to me even from what Bloober's talking about though, because it's engine parts. Like, so you've got volumetric lighting, all the new lighting capabilities. So that lighting isn't available if you play it on One X. That doesn't change the game, right? It's just different lighting models. So I don't even understand where Bloober's coming from to say we're only going to develop for X. Because resolution-wise, it's still 4K, which can run on X, or One X. It's the same graphics engine. There's just new abilities that the Xbox Series X can handle that the One X can't. That doesn't change the game. No, that's what doesn't make sense about this.
Their messaging on this as to why they're not developing it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, it doesn't. And it's starting. Like, it makes it, I don't know, I just felt it was ridiculous. You brought up iOS earlier.
I did.
Microsoft. So we know that iOS has said that, streaming games, the xCloud and stuff, they weren't going to allow stuff like that unless the games were on the iOS store, which Microsoft would never do. Why would you put Halo in the Microsoft store, right? Or in the iOS store, right? So Microsoft's going to deploy a browser-based app for xCloud. So it's not even going to be an iOS app. They're totally bypassing Apple's rules.
Yeah.
And they're going to make xCloud a browser-based app to get around all of it. I mean, way to stick it to Apple.
Yeah, well, particularly with, all of the issues that Apple has caused lately.
Oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. I just thought that was absolutely brilliant that they're doing that. It's like, well, this is what you want, and here's what we're going to do, and you can't stop us now.
Yeah.
And I wish we could stop this. Netflix is yet again, Tico, raising prices in Canada to a whopping $18.
Well, that seems $18. I don't even know how much I'm paying for Netflix right now.
$19. Sorry, it's not. They're raising it to $18.99. When I remember when Netflix started in 2011?
Yeah.
In Canada, it was $7.99.
Yeah. I remember that. I thought that's what I was still paying. I'm probably not. But,
They're raising it to $18.99. I don't even watch Netflix enough to make that worth it anymore. I couldn't remember the last time my wife and I sat down to watch Netflix.
I know Leah watches it a lot, so it's probably there's some value there at this. I don't know. Once I start to realize how much it's costing me, I probably start canceling stuff. But
yeah, I mean, just with all of the different stuff, the different things out there, like even CBS All Access, which we've been using because we've been going through NCIS. It's only $6. It's $6 a month, and I've had like the last 2 months for free.
Well, yeah, that's because, a good deal.
Because first of all, CBS All Access gave me a free month, and then I canceled it, and then we started it up again so we could continue with NCIS.
Well, they gave you a free month,
and then I paid for the 1 month, but then I said cancel, and they're like, wait, we'll give you a free month if you don't cancel.
I love the ones that do that. We'll give you a free month. Please stick around. And then you go to cancel again after that. They're like, but we'll give you that. We'll send you $5.
Right.
If you ever try to cancel Audible, that's exactly how that goes. It's like, are you sure you can? We'll give you a free audiobook. No, I'm still going to cancel. We'll give you 2 free audiobooks.
Yes, I've had that.
And it's all automated to do it automatically. So you just need to know how many deals they're willing to offer you.
Right.
Before, even if you don't plan on canceling, just go to cancel like once a month or so and see how many free things you can get out of them.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really contemplating. I got to find out what my kids use, whether they still use Netflix or not. But I don't know. $19 a month just seems a bit ridiculous because I don't think Netflix is that much more superior than other channels that are like a quarter of the price.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the content, and they're at the point where they're starting to cancel some of their original series now.
Yep.
That have gone, like we just finished watching Santa Clarita Diet. which went 3 seasons, got canceled. Glow just got canceled after 3 seasons. 3 seasons seems to be their thing. It's like 3 seasons and then screw you guys.
Well, OA got canceled after 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic show.
Yeah, so like, if you want me to stick around, Netflix, keep some of the stuff that I'm enjoying watching around for longer than 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's pretty much television talk. So let's continue on with our weekly update of Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
So this week, what would you call this week's episode? Was it like the creepy cursed episode, or because there was like these weird creepy kids chasing another kid that only she could see?
Like the It Follows. I don't know if you've ever seen that horror movie. It Follows. It's sort of a newer genre of the haunted or possessed person, where like a person is being chased by an unseen entity. And the twin. I mean, again, it harkens back to The Shining with the
Shining.
Twins.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't really twins, but the two girls chasing her, they were dressed up in like almost like half Pennywise, half Raggedy Ann type.
Yep, with really long, sharp nails, like so creepy. But the lore of like the overarching lore of the season finally got a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
And holy crap, the end again, it's always at the end when the most amazing thing happens, right? But the creatures from the first episode finally came back into the picture. Yeah. And I don't want to spoil the very last scene, but holy crap, I cannot wait for the next episode to see where the heck this is going.
It was good. We find out where the book came from and stuff like that. So it's I'm really starting to enjoy how they're putting the pieces of the puzzle that we've seen so far together.
Yeah. Oh, and Jamie Chung's character came back. Yeah. Finally. So everything seems to be kind of coming into place. Yeah. Everything's clicking, So we'll see. I think there's 2 episodes left. We'll see how it goes. Listen, I'm enjoying the show. Yeah. We've harped on it a few times because it's just there's a lot of inconsistency. Yeah. Confusing, inconsistent. It just things didn't make sense, but we'll see. Like you said at the beginning, let's see what happens after the 10th episode to see where everything fits.
They gave us at the beginning, they gave us a whole bunch of puzzle pieces. And now that the puzzle's filling in, you're starting to see where these pieces fit in the story. You're like, oh, now that I know the edges, these go together a little bit easier now. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying how they're doing the storytelling.
Like episode 1 and 2 were the borders of the puzzle.
Yeah,
everything else fits inside somehow.
Yeah.
Oh man, yes, really good. And the finale of The Boys. What'd you think? What was your thoughts on how this season went?
I really liked it. I enjoyed the season. It was fun. You sort of had a little bit of a slower start, a little bit of a slower run up to this at the beginning of the season.
Really slow run.
Once you hit episode about 3 or 4,
I think it was 4 is really where it got boom,
and it just downhill straight, like super fast stuff happening. So like revelations, like that guy's doing that, and I just really enjoyed what they've done with it. They've left a few things. We know we're getting a season 3, so they've already left a few things sort of open, some things that were left unresolved that we will see in season 3. But they closed off some of the stuff from this season really, really nicely.
I think they closed off it like almost like seasons 1 and 2 were one story.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like season 3 is going to sort of start brand new. I mean, yes, they've set up new things, but what they set up at the end of season 2 is the beginning of a whole new chapter.
Yeah, it's almost like a brand new arc entirely for like it's when comics switch. Like here's our six issue arc, and now here's a new story. We're telling you a new story now. And
but season 3 is definitely going to start a whole new arc. Seasons 1 and 2, you could kind of watch back to back as one big long story.
Yeah,
that really themes together. Season 3 is going to be something new, and I really don't like. I have no clue where season 3 is going to go based on how it ended, because it really felt like an ending.
Right.
There was no cliffhanger.
Right. There's no cliffhanger. Like, I mean, we have a little bit of information. We know a little bit of stuff that for season 3. Like, we know Jensen Ackles is joining the cast
As Soldier Boy. Yep.
as Soldier Boy. So we know there's new characters coming in.
Okay. So here's the weird thing about Soldier Boy. They're saying Soldier Boy was kind of like Captain America. He's the first super.
Yeah.
But that kind of contradicts Stormfront. Like her history. I don't want to give away her history because that's a big spoiler.
Yeah.
But, right? Does that not contradict her story?
I mean, if you're saying that he's like the first superhero, or maybe
he's supposed to be the first super.
He may have been maybe Vought's first super. I don't know. But we'll have to see where the storyline brings him.
We're gonna have to see, because as soon as we got the reveal of Stormfront's history, the first thing I thought of was, that doesn't sound right, knowing what I know about Soldier Boy.
Yeah, it could be Vought's first.
Maybe.
Have been something along those lines.
Yeah, you cut out there, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
We'll see. I'm excited.
Vought's first one.
3.
Oh, I am too.
Yeah.
I mean, Jensen Ackles going straight from Supernatural, which just returned. Supernatural is back. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've got to catch up on that still.
That's awesome. So we got another 5 episodes, I think, remaining of that of the series.
Yeah.
Like, this is the series ending.
This is it. We're done. We're done after this. I'm excited to watch the end of that. I'm hoping that we get some new good stuff coming up soon too. Like, I want some more TV. Running low.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow, there's not. Well, we got NCIS. We've still got 2 seasons of NCIS to watch, and then 5 seasons of NCIS New Orleans, which we're gonna watch as well, which is cool. I love Scott Bakula, so he's the main character in New Orleans, and of course they've had the crossover episodes between NCIS and New Orleans, which is funny because they never did crossovers with Los Angeles. But they've already, ever since New Orleans started, every season they've had a crossover with New Orleans, but never did a crossover episode or series with Los Angeles.
And Los Angeles did crossovers with Magnum. They did crossovers with
NCIS.
MacGyver.
Really?
NCIS LA. Yeah, they've done crossovers with a number of other shows.
Wow.
They sent people to Hawaii.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Let's move on to some movie news.
There's movie news, Sean?
Well,
movies exist still?
Spider-Man 3 has been getting a lot of information lately. Last week we talked about Jamie Foxx reprising his role as Electro and wondering how this is going to work.
Yeah.
But now the news comes out that Doctor Strange is going to play a prominent role in Spider-Man 3. So that really brings out the thought multiverse. Of, is this going to be a multiverse thing?
Yeah.
And maybe they're literally, people are speculating that we're going to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and possibly Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because of the multiverse.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be though? Like, okay, as cool as that is, Tico.
Yeah.
Does that, in your opinion, fit the MCU as we know it?
Not really, because...
I agree. It feels weird for the MCU to go there.
And it feels weird for these actors to... I mean, I don't know what they're paying them for this, but for these actors who are basically considered the worst Spider-Man... to be like, hey, I'll be a part of your movie, so you can say, hey, here's this Spider-Man versus Tom Holland, which is the best Spider-Man ever, versus your crap.
Well, we don't know. This is speculation. There's people are speculating, but the whole, like, J. Jonah Jameson appearing again, and now we've got possibly Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel consistent with what we know of the MCU.
It depends on how that is being done. Is it like a flash of different worlds where we just see them very, very briefly as something goes shooting past? And that would be okay, I guess. But would you really bring someone like Jamie Foxx in for a flash? Well, if he's got other movies in production with Disney and they just said, hey, we want you to step on set for a half a day, to do this, then maybe if he's got other contracts and stuff with them, maybe it's something that might be done, or we want to use this as a hype
Maybe, but
piece.
wouldn't it make more sense if they're going to do that? Wouldn't it make more sense to just grab a scene from Spider-Man 2, and throw that in there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
I don't know.
they may want to have him interact. Maybe we just
But
get
true.
the villains pulled. Maybe just the villains pulled in from some of these bad.
Well, then get
bad.
Daniel Molina to redo Doc Ock. Come on, he was the
All
best
right.
one of all
I
of
assume
them.
you mean Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina.
Yes.
Get him to do Doc Ock, because he was the best villain of any Spider-Man film.
He was by far the best. I mean, he's a brilliant actor.
Yes.
Still remember him from the early days in
Indiana Jones.
Throw me the idol, throw me the whip.
Yes, right.
Like, just like that. I know. I just absolutely loved his take on Doc Ock. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you're agreed. And why they would go with Electro and not Doc Ock, is beyond me, honestly. Unless Alfred didn't want to do it. Maybe he's too old for the part now. I don't know. But you could get someone else.
You can CG it too. I don't know.
You could get someone else to be. I mean,
I don't know. It feels weird. I mean, again, I said last week, listen, I trust Kevin Feige. I think he knows what he's doing. But all of this news coming up, it's just something.
I think we're
feels
very
weird.
I think we're very early for news, and this is more. I think it could be partially well, we got to put something out because we haven't delivered any of the TV series that should have been out ages ago. We haven't really, we're pushing back, all of the movies and everything. Like, we're pushing everything back, so we need to do something to keep this in news. So let's get some stunt casting sort of thing announcements out there. We've been seeing announcements for their TV series. We've seen this sort of stunt casting get announced. I think this is really to keep things in there. Disney has been making some decisions. They just announced that Soul, the new cartoon,
Pixar.
is going to be
Pixar
cartoon is going to be skipping theaters entirely and releasing directly to Disney Plus
on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, and not even as a Christmas present for subscribers. Not even the $30.
No, it's not even premium access. It's just
straight to Disney Plus.
Straight to Disney Plus. So we're seeing some of that happen. I think that the studios are really worried about the theaters and their ability to stay open.
Well, I was reading that Regal Theaters in the U.S. is closing down permanently.
Yeah.
And I had read something about AMC is also shutting down everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, this is not good. The AMC is huge.
Yeah.
For AMC to say they're shutting down?
They're running at 50% capacity. People can't keep from getting sick. Like, I'm not going to a theater anytime soon. It is a frightening concept to do that when I don't need to. The numbers for Tenet in overseas were not great. They didn't really announce what they were, so you can tell that they're not great.
Last I read, Tenet was projecting, I think they said they made $250 million, which for Tenet was not enough.
No, that was one of those, looking for, 750 to $1 billion was like what they were expecting. So like they didn't nearly make what they wanted to make off of that.
Right.
I don't know.
I wonder how New Mutants did. I honestly don't think it did well because they've already announced
I probably have more money in my wallet than New Mutants made.
New Mutants is already going to be on DVD and Blu-ray on November 17th. What's that? 2 months after it launched?
Let me say this. If I were running their promotional campaign for the DVD release, I would absolutely 100% delay it one day on the 16th, just for fun. Just announce a delay. It's like supposed to be the November 17th. It's like, yeah, I'm afraid we're going to be delayed
to the 18th.
November 18th, regardless of what they're going to do. Just delay it one day just to keep in
spirit of the
spirit of that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it deserves another delay, right?
I don't remember hearing any great reviews of it. I don't remember hearing anybody really talking about it.
I don't recall hearing anything about how good it was or how well it did at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone went and saw it.
I really don't know either. I think like maybe a few reviewers may have gone to see it, but like that was at the early stages of reopening of theaters too. So like not a ton of theaters were reopened.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that this movie has made its money back by any means.
There's no way. There's no way it's made its money back. I don't even know if it's going to make its money back on Blu-ray, to be honest with you.
No. I mean, it'll be one of those things where they can consider if they can put it on Disney Plus and get a few people to watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it on Disney Plus. I don't know. Have they said it's coming to Disney Plus?
They haven't said.
I mean, it's a Disney film, but it's also an R-rated film. And I don't know if Disney Plus will have those films.
Well, they should. I mean, put it somewhere. You got to put it. It's got to come somewhere. It's going to be. Well, it's on November 17th. It'll be digital on demand as well.
Yeah, I guess, but where? Like Disney Plus. Disney Plus doesn't have restricted movies. That's what I mean. So I don't know who's going to have it, unless it's Hulu, or I don't Netflix or something. I have no idea.
Well, I don't think it'll be Netflix because I mean it'll be on demand. So I'm just scrolling to see if it says where they're going to do digital.
Yeah, I'm not sure it does. I know it says on demand.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't
on demand where? You know,
Amazon. It'll be Amazon on demand. What do they call that? Hulu?
Amazon is Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. That's what I meant to say.
You think it's going to be on Prime Video?
Sure. I don't know.
That's not Disney.
I'm taking a guess.
Oh my gosh, you're wrong.
I'm
listen,
wrong.
Listen. You are so wrong. I'm just ending the show right now.
Just like that.
That's how wrong you are. So thank you everybody for listening to this argument called OMG Hour 388. I forgot what number we were. Give us a like, subscribe, and comment right down below. If you're not watching us on YouTube, come on over. We got lots of great content, lots of board game stuff. If you're into that, come check us out, youtube.com/OMG Nexus. Follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour and on Facebook as OMG Nexus. I am Zion Tane, and that is XIANTAYNE.
Okay, you've touched them all. All right, I'm Mr. Second Place. You can follow me on the Twitters. Don't forget to check out our Instagram for Flipping Tables with OMG. And head over to our YouTube channel to check out the awesome interview that we had with Rob Davio, the father of Legacy board games.
Yes, we talked about Pandemic Legacy Season 0 coming out this month. So check that out. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Tell them what to do, Tico.
The button down below me, right down. Like I'm looking at it. I'm not going to use my fingers because that's rude to point. But press that button right down there. Press
and watch those videos over there.
Over there. No, that way.
Oh my gosh, you're useless.
Yeah, I've heard that before.